Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So this is probably going to be a relatively short one. It's more of just an update, a little bit of information that has come out today, and that is we are going to have some football this weekend. Sunderland fans anyway, if you are a Sunderland fan, I'm guessing you are if you're watching this. So Sunderland, who did have a free weekend this weekend, or at least seem to have a free weekend as Fleetwood, the Fleetwood game, I think it was the Fleetwood game anyway. That one was called off. It was postponed due to COVID, a COVID outbreak on their end. It looked as though we're going to have a free weekend, but Hull City also had a free weekend as well, as I think one of their games got called off, or an opposition team for them got called off. But either way, it turned out that they had a free weekend as well. Now, we had a game postponed against Hull on Boxing Day, so this has been a nice little time to rearrange the game. It has been officially set up to be played this weekend on Sky Sports. You know, the curse of Sky Sports, the curse of TV. We will be playing them on Saturday night at 7:45 on Sky Sports, which is just great. It never seems to go well when we're live on Sky. But either way, I'm glad that we are playing now, because not only does it mean I have something to do on Saturday night, but it gives us a little bit of momentum. Because after, you know, the last game, we played poorly. It was a terrible result against Northampton, which we should be winning. I don't think off the back of that performance we deserve to win by any stretch. Absolutely not. I think we were horrendous. But a lot of people, you know, messaged me or commented on my match review of that game, which was very short and to the point. I had a few beers just before making that review, but everything I said, I still stand by it, because it was a poor performance. But a lot of people commented and messaged me saying, you know, I will give the lads a bit of leeway because, you know, they haven't played in a couple of weeks. And the thing is, if we carry on with that attitude, we may as well just end the season now and place ourselves in 15th. Because we're going to keep on seeing these inconsistencies in games. Other teams are going to have COVID outbreaks. There's going to be big gaps of 1, 2, sometimes maybe even 3 weeks. This season is going to be a shambles. It's not like any other season. So if we keep having this sort of a week or two gaps in between games, which I think will undoubtedly happen every now and then, we can't keep coming back from that, playing poorly, and then letting the players get away with it and just saying, oh, well, you know, they've had a couple of weeks off. We'll let them have this one. Because like I say, end the season now, finish 15th or mid-table, whatever, may as well. Because that isn't the attitude we should be having, in my opinion. It's we either play good or we don't. We either get a result or we don't. And that's the be-all and end-all. Because it's the same for everyone else. Do you know what I mean? It's the same for everyone else. Everyone else is in the same boat. And I just feel like, although I don't think Hull is probably the ideal game to continue to get our sharpness back underway, given their position in the table, currently second place. They've played very, very well this season. It still means that we do get a bit of sharpness. Now, for us, in terms of form, it does look very bleak. I think in all competitions, we've only won twice in the last 11 games, which is really, really poor. It's been a very long time since we've won at the Stadium of Light. I think it's early November, or the 3rd of November, when we played Ipswich. We won 2-1, I think it was. Yeah, that was the last time we won at the Stadium of Light. So that doesn't exactly fill me with confidence. And in general, we just haven't been playing particularly well. Of course, the Lincoln game, it looked like we're about to get ourselves underway, winning 4-0 away from home against Lincoln, who have been fantastic this season. That's where I just thought, you know, we've set the standard and we're going to stop flying now. But we didn't. Of course, we did have that patch, and where obviously we couldn't play because of COVID. And of course, we played Wimbledon with a very mixed bag of players because of COVID again. But even despite that, we played very poorly against Wimbledon. Yes, maybe that one I can give them a little bit of leeway, because they literally had the lineup changing every half an hour leading up to the kickoff. So I can give them a bit more leeway there. But the Northampton game, I think they knew what was coming. They were trained throughout the week, or at least for a few days, got them on the training pitch, and we still displayed or give out a horrific display. Now, Hull have had relatively inconsistent form as of late, but still are winning games, still picking up points. The last game, they did beat Charlton by 2-0 at home. Charlton had a man sent off. The last 3 games before that, they didn't get themselves a win, or at least they couldn't get themselves a win. They lost to Pompey at home. They lost away from home against Blackpool by 3-2. Then lost to Shrewsbury as well, 1-0. And before that, they were picking up dribs and drabs in a league, a draw against Oxford. They beat Doncaster by 2-1. They smashed Ipswich away from home 3-0. They smashed MK Dons away from home 3-1. So their away form looks very good. But in general, it has been quite inconsistent as of late. So it might be a decent time to catch him. It probably would have been best if we caught him last weekend, given that they'd come off the back of 3 winless games. But either way, it's going to be a hard game. And I don't personally, even though, I'm trying to steer away from me looking like this miserable sod all the time now, because I feel like that's what I've become when I'm discussing Sunderland anyway. I don't have a massive amount of faith in the lads in this game. Personally, I think Hull will have a bit too much for us. But in saying that, and I have said this consistently throughout the season, is when I have watched Hull, they haven't massively impressed me. Not once have I watched Hull this season and I thought they're amazing or they're going to win the league. When we played them this season, very, very early on in the season, of course, first round of the League Cup, we dominated. They looked horrendous. They looked poor. And we battered them. Unfortunately, we just couldn't hit the back of the net. It's a typical Sunderland story. Couldn't hit the back of the net. They won on penalties, whatever. I didn't care about the result. I was very, very pleased with the performance because we made Hull look like a team that were going into the bottom six in League One, something like that. But then Hull, they did, and I'm not just, having a dig at Hull here because they've been better than us and they deserve to be where they are. But the opening sort of 4 or 5 games they were given, they were all teams that you would expect to be sort of around the bottom 6 in the league, 6 or 7. And they were pretty simple wins for them to pick up. Of course, they're not given to them. The points aren't just handed to them. They have to work for those wins, but they were given a pretty favourable start to the season, give them an opportunity to get a bit of a foundation of points going, and it obviously lifted their motivation and their momentum, and they've gone along with it, and they haven't dropped ever since, and they're currently sat second in the league, so they absolutely deserve it. So, my point being is, I think we can compete with Hull, but Hull have something that we don't have, and that is motivation. Or, sorry, it shouldn't be motivation. Motivation shouldn't be the issue, but momentum, because they keep picking up points and we keep dropping points. So hopefully we do see a good performance. And of course, we see a Sunderland home win at the Stadium Light, under the lights, in front of the Sky Sports cameras as well, which I highly doubt. I think it's going to be a shit show, personally. We shall see anyway. But yeah, that's just a little bit of news and my thoughts on the game. Let me know down below what you think the score is going to be, how you think things are going to pan out, etc. But yeah, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed. Hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and all that nonsense. But for now, you take care and stay jam.